Safer Cities Her Way is a collaborative partnership with Transport for New South Wales. Council was lucky enough to receive $1 million in grant funding to trial some initiatives that improve the perceptions of safety for women, girls and gender diverse people. So for the Safer Cities Her Way program, we chose to engage the community by using a human-centred approach in co-design. So we did a series of surveys, an interactive map, a series of workshops, which also included a walkthrough of the city. And from all of that engagement, we got over 130,000 pieces of data, which told us how people felt about our city and how safe they felt.
So my experience being involved in the program so far has been a really positive experience. I feel like I went in there for myself and my family. I'm mum to 2 young girls, and so for me it was really about what can I do in my community to help make Gosford a safer place, a place that we all want to come to.
So I work with a lot of vulnerable young people, so 12 to 17, and young parents under the age of 25. And within that cohort, there are a lot of females who have experienced domestic and family violence. And I also work with a large population of the LGBTQIA+ community.
We have a very diverse socio-economic area, so it's catering for everybody. You make it safe, as I say, you make a place accessible for one group of people, it makes it accessible for a lot. And it's the same thing here about the safety. Yes, this focused on women or, different groups of women, but this is about community.
So we had some key stakeholders involved in the project with us. So they included our local police, Transport for New South Wales, Sydney Trains, the bus companies, the business chamber, our local businesses and community, and also New South Wales Health.
Safety is paramount for people in feeling comfortable coming into towns, coming to venues, so both the nightlife economy and also the daytime. It's really important that we make people feel safe and secure. There has been a bad reputation, we're moving on from that, and what's being improved around the place, people will see it once they start to come out. It is critical to the success of businesses in Gosford CBD.
To find the right interventions, we held an extensive workshop with our government key stakeholders and community. They identified the solutions to what the problems were that they experienced.
In relation to co-design, including everybody, because as a person with lived experience of disability, often disabled people, decisions are made about them without them.
Based on the community's feedback, we designed a range of interventions to improve the perceptions of safety. They revolved around 3 main themes: activation of our city, beautification of our city, and also improving lines of vision and sight through lighting and improvements to our vegetation. So that included the public art, so the series of murals that we've got throughout the city, some wayfinding so that people knew where to go and which was the safest route, and also the activations. They really identified that having a lot of people in the city made them feel safer. We really wanted to increase community pride in place. So there was a series of activations which included markets, events, musicians, and also a whole heap of public arts being installed throughout our city to really improve beautification and improve that pride.
Yeah, I've seen a massive change, especially to the Burns Park installation out the front there with the bands playing and the buskers. It's been good to see people sitting in the park again. It's open right up with a line of sight. The trees and the palm trees are being cleaned right up, and you can see right through there and see the activation of people sitting around having lunch and coffees.
I know a number of the business owners in Gosford have made comment recently just how much more viable feeling there is in Gosford, and people are back in town, and that's what we want to see. We've got some really good venues, so people are attending. It's great.
Once the interventions were implemented, we took a group of women back through our city. We did a walk through the day, through the evening, and we got them to evaluate how they felt after the implementations had occurred. So they identified 60% improvement in their perceptions of safety as they walked through the city once we'd installed all of their ideas and interventions.
And then we came back again to see what has been implemented. And it was 6 months later. But some of the things that have been put in place already to clear up some of the areas that were rather untidy and neglected gave a different feeling. So people wanted to be there. Before they didn't.
Just knowing from when I first moved here 9 years ago now to how much Gosford has changed in that time and how quickly this project took off, and being able to actually see that change has been quite incredible. And so I think as long as the momentum keeps happening, that the legacy can go quite far.
I think the lasting legacy is for us to keep engaged with the council and look for some continuous improvement components of the program, not just have it sit there and say, well, we introduce this is what we're running with. Continuously improve it and keep the community involved in what we're improving.
So I think for myself will be how I continue to implement the voices of women and children and young people into the perceptions of safety within the community, and continue to look at it from that perspective and not the perspective that places are generally, designed for.
So the feedback has been really positive. People have been engaged in the project and really championed the Safer Cities Her Way project in the local businesses as well. It's something that will continue on into the future. There'll be some really beautiful legacy items that will roll on and continue so that the community can enjoy them into the future. It's also increased the sense of trust in council, because people said what the problem was, they gave us solutions, and we've actually implemented them.